Hello, my name is Zach and this is Magic the Gallery, a channel all about appreciating the beautiful and wonderful art of the Magic the Gathering card game. Last week I released a video on the top 5 white cards in Ikoria Lair of Behemoths. Today I'm going to continue in Wooburg fashion with the top 5 blue cards. Quick disclaimer, art is subjective, and while I am discussing my opinions, you are very much entitled to your own. I would love for you to disagree with my choices and to explain why in the comments. My first card is Convolute by Jason Rainville. Jason has drawn a human figure sitting casually on a rock by the sea. The figure's right hand is casting a counterspell, emitting blue energy which is clashing with some fire coming from the left of the composition. Some of the energy is being absorbed into a candle by the figure's legs. The book next to the figure, and also the figure's relaxed demeanor, suggests that this is an orchestrated attack, for example, a training exercise. If he were under a real attack, he would probably be a little less at ease. The image has a confident air about it, which is supported by the figure's smug expression, posture, and also the flavor text, which simply reads, "No thank you." The background is beautiful. The rock spires shaped like teeth or tusks are a key feature of the Rawgrin triome, but interestingly, there is no sign of any Ikorian mutation crystals. There is an excellent amount of detail in the texture of the central rock. You can see individual scrapes and the realistic wetness in its shine. This is a very well done piece and earns a solid place in my top 5. For card number 4, I have chosen Reconnaissance Mission, which was illustrated by Johannes Voss. This image has a Bonder Scout riding a bird creature. They are gliding in the foreground of the composition, circling the immense city of Drannith. The landscape of the city is gorgeous. There is a beam of light coming from behind some clouds that focuses viewer attention on a central green crystal, and from there, our eyes are free to explore the spread of landscape and architecture, which fit together wonderfully. Despite being the largest foreground elements, the figure and her mount are not the main focus of this art in my opinion. They are in shadow, which lets us focus on the landscape behind them, and also relates to their shady covert mission of scoping out the city's defenses. The angled framing of the image creates the illusion of movement, making the viewer feel the pull of gravity and the circling motion of the surveyors. This is a really interesting card to look at, and there is a lot of story present within the image. For art number 3, I have Capture Sphere, which was illustrated by Jacob Kasper. This image shows a dinosaur creature trapped in a glassy blue orb. Their human companion is behind and to the right, pounding desperately on the orb in an attempt to free their friend. The artwork is actually part of a set of 3, describing a rough story of these two companions. First, there is Forbidden Friendship, which depicts their first encounter. Capture Sphere is next, which is the moment of separation. Presumably a copper-coat mage has ensnared the dinosaur despite protests from its new friend. Lastly, we have Cathartic Reunion, where we see the companions reunited, but the soldier has lost his rank and is now an outcast bonder. Back to the art at hand. The art of Capture Sphere successfully describes what the card itself does, essentially locking away one of your opponent's creatures. The reason I like this card though is the emotion that is evident in the art. There is a very tangible feeling of pain and distress. Both characters' gazes are towards each other, and their facial expressions display the despair that they feel, which is quite impressive to have such emotion on a dinosaur. The dino is in a fetal position, which highlights his vulnerability, and the almost invisible ripples where the human's fists connect with the orb show his futility. Clearly he is having no effect. Jacob has managed to capture intense emotions in this card, which is something that Magic art could definitely do with more of. My second favourite card is Escape Protocol by Dorochenko Alexander. This card has a human figure in the lower right of the foreground, hiding behind a cluster of crystals. In the background, we see the large dinosaur-clad monster that is stalking her. There are a lot of crystals in this image, which makes me initially think that we are in the Ketria triome, but the rocky landscape, small pools of lava, and dinosaur place us in Rawgrin instead. There is a thick blue tint over everything we see, which is the glow created by the crystals when a monster is near. If you imagine the scene without the monster, the area would actually be bathed in red and orange from the fire. There is a heavy sense of anticipation as we watch the dinosaur peering just around where the human figure is hiding. The blue fog conceals the creature and makes it hard to judge distance or how large it really is. The crystals also block the human's vision. They are entirely reliant on the crystal warning system. Rather than a feeling of safety, the crystals extend the monster's presence, lighting up all around the figure to indicate danger. I can easily place myself within the setting, as the viewer is positioned roughly at standing eye level. This enhances the sense of danger, because if the viewer were to be standing there, they are in clear view of the monster with no visual obstructions. This image produces a sense of mysterious power around the dinosaur, which is aided by the concealment that the blue fog provides. If it sees the figure, she is at its mercy, and her only hope is to escape. Coming in at number 1 is Essence Scatter by Seb McKinnon. Seb has shown a nightmare-clad creature painted onto a rock surface, mimicking the primitive style of the Mythos cards, such as Mythos of Illuna. The nightmare is lurching forwards as its back and wings disintegrate into a swarm of butterflies. The creature is shown in different shades of brown and red, which is contrasted by the vibrant blues of the butterflies, which almost seem to leap off the rock surface. The butterflies are all facing towards the right, and there are thin white lines connecting them to the creature. This creates the impression that they are peeling away from the nightmare, and there is implied movement in that direction. This might seem obvious, but it defines the difference between the butterflies coming off the creature or attacking and swarming it. The motion of the creature falling was a great choice, as it creates a sense of finality. I get the impression that by the time the creature would hit the ground, there is nothing left of it. The cave art style of this piece makes it stand out among other cards, and that is why I'm putting it in first place. These are my top 5 blue cards from Ikoria Lair of Behemoths. I hope you enjoyed and would love for you to discuss your favourites in the comments below. That's all for this video, stay safe and enjoy your games.